Good morning. Today we are practicing on how to pass the Ftce exam for business education 12, 6 to 12. This is the business education exam. So, uh, for me, the best way to pass these exams is to practice. And we are going to practice the exam by recording it and listening as many times as I can before I go to take the exam. So I have the exam practice with the answers, and that is a good way for me to practice. I don't know if it's good for everybody, but for me, it's a good way. So I can practice these while I'm working or doing gardening or, you know, just hanging out at the house, cooking or cleaning or anything like that. So they say to pass an exam, or all it takes is just practice, practice, practice. Practice makes it perfect. So I have done that with my real estate exam and with many other exams. And so here we go again. So the practice exam has the 100 questions, and we're gonna start with one, and we're not gonna go over the math ones. I mean, we can go over it, but not specific. So I am just gonna skip a little bit the math ones, and I'm gonna go back and study the math ones. Right now, we're gonna study just the ones that are not math. Okay. So the question number one is a command. I'm sorry. Question number one. A command economy is characterized by, and the answer is the government controlling prices and production. Question number two. Which of the following is not a responsibility of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC? And the answer is setting interest rates. 3. In marketing, the demand of production is directly influenced by, and the answer is A and B, which are customers' desire for a product and customers' ability to obtain a product. The question number 4, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 was intended to fight corporate and accounting fraud. Question number 5, an employee earns $2,000 per month in gross pay but pays 104 with 104.36 for health insurance, 9% in federal taxes, 3% for state taxes, and 2% for local taxes. What is the employee's net pay? The answer is B, which is $1,615.64. 6. A market in which product availability exceeds demand is called a buyer's market. That's the answer, buyer's market. 7. Which of the following is not a part of a Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Which of the following is not a part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Answer is supply and demand. 8. Which of the following countries is not part of the NAFTA? China. China is not part of the NAFTA. 9. Consumers' credit score is directly influenced by which of the following factors? Answer: debit repayment history. 10. Upon which organization does the international community primarily relied on deal with claims of unfair protectionism by one country against another? Answer: B. World Trade Organization. Short, WATO. 11. A homeowner is attempting to choose between several mortgage loans for a 200,000 home. Which of the following will have the lowest monthly payment? And the answer is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 6%. 12. The biggest factor that leads American companies to manufacture their products overseas in developed countries like China and India is lowered labor costs. 13. Which of the following correctly summarizes the accounting equation for a sole proprietorship? Assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. 14. In order to represent a business plan to a group of potential investors, a business person will most likely use which software? PowerPoint. 15. In order to start an online business, an individual will need all but which of the following? That means all but not this one. A fax machine. So a business, in order to start an online business, an individual would need a business module, a website, and an email address, but not a fax machine. Which of the following types of assets, this is 16, 16, which of the following types of assets will not be subject to depreciation? Real estate. True, real estate is not subject to depreciation because the land never depreciates. When optimizing deduction, this is 17, 17. When optimizing deductions on a federal tax return, an individual taxpayer might be able to deduct all but which of the following? Groceries. You do not deduct groceries. 18. Which of the following terms best describes a situation where an individual enters into an agreement with a company to use the company's business module within a given territory, usually in exchange for a fee? Franchise. Franchises do that. They will charge you a fee. The 19. The part value of a bond is the answer. Amount paid when the bond matures. 20. Which of the following best describes Congress' purpose in setting up Freddie Mac in 1970? Answer. Expanding opportunities for home ownership. 21. Which of the following countries will be considered an emerging market? India. 22. An exchange rate between the euro and the US dollar is 2.5 to 1 euro. How many dollars would it take to purchase a plane ticket that costs 1580 euros? 3,950. 23. If the US Federal Reserve concludes that there is a significant risk of inflation, it would most likely, answer, raise interest rates. 24. A combination of a slow economic growth and high inflation is called stagflation. A shareholder 25. A shareholder owns 200 shares of a stock XYZ at 58 each. If there is a 2-to-1 stock split, how many shares will that shareholder have? In what would the new share price be? C. 400 shares at 29 per share. 26. Which of the following is not true of stock dividends? Answer. The amount of frequency are demanded directly by shareholders at large. 27. If a stock has a high P/E ratio, P/E ratio, this means that. Where is 27? C. This means that the stock's price is higher considering the value of its earnings per share. 28. Just double check on 28. Maybe. Yeah. 28. An individual who is about to retire and wants to earn interest without risking his or her principal will most likely be advised to invest in U.S. Treasury bonds. 29. A company that is included in the Dow Jones Industrial Average is most likely be a well-known corporation with a large market capitalization. 30. If the investor in Table 1 has a portfolio that is exposed to the greatest amount of risk. 30. Which of the investors in Table 1 has the portfolio that is exposed to the greatest amount of risk? B. 31. Refer again to Table 1. If investors D stock have an average return of 8.8% during the year and investors D bonds have an average return of 5.2%, what is the average overall return on investors D's portfolio? 7%. 32. If one planning to start a small business, which should one do first? Assess one's personal financial situation. 33. Frank is 33 years old and married with 2 children. He has 40,000 in his retirement account, which is earning an average of 5% annual, and 10,000 in his personal savings account, which is earning 2% annually. He is current with his mortgage and has 50,000 left to pay at a rate of 6%. Frank also has 30,000 in credit cards debt with an average rate of 13%. If Frank wants to increase his chances of retiring comfortably, what will be best way for him to spend a Christmas bonus of $10,000? The answer is use all of it to pay down his credit card debts. Yep, that's true. Credit cards are the worst. If a country is a net exporter, this means that B. The value of the goods that it exports exceeds the value of the goods that it imports. 35. If a government implements an import tariff on a consumer electronics, what is it most likely trying to accomplish? Answer 8. It is trying to protect its domestic consumer electronics industry from from competition. 36. If a potential business owner projects that she will need to invest 100,000 in equipment to start a dry cleaning business and the business's monthly expenses on rent, insurance, labor costs, and other incidentals are 5,000. How many months will it take for her to earn back her initial investment if the average monthly gross revenue is 8,000? Less than 34 months. Refer to table 2 above. A family wants to buy a new car and is trying to decide between four different car and car loan options. Which of the loans will require them to pay for to pay the least amount of money overall, including the down payment and the monthly payments? Option 8. 38. Which of the four options listed in Table 2 will require the family to pay the least amount of interest in total? C. 39. Which of the options listed in Table 2 will require the family to pay the highest amount of interest totaled? B. Refer to Table 3. Sarah has up to 550,000 to invest and is trying to decide which of four catering businesses she wants to purchase. Which of the options below correctly list the business in order of average monthly profit from the largest to smallest when the franchise fee is taken into consideration? C. B, C, A, D. B, C, A, D. 41. If Sarah wants to get her initial investment back as quickly as possible, which of the following options would you advise her to choose based upon the information on Table 3? D. 42. A consumer's credit score may be factored in all but which of the following transactions? Opening a bank account. So a customer's credit score may be factored in all but which of the following transactions? Opening a bank account. 43. Comprehensive car insurance typically covers damage done to the insured vehicle by a vandal. 44. Which of the following is not typically cited as a potential cause of oil price increases? Price increases for consumer goods and services in the U.S. 45. Nations whose economies relied primarily on the export of non-oil commodities like rubber or copper are? Answer B. Often referred to as developing countries or emerging markets. 46. A company considering manufacturing a product in several different emerging markets will most likely consider which of the following factors in choosing between them? All of the above, which are likelihood of political instability, labor costs and regulations, cost of shipping goods from that country to a destination country. 47. Adam Smith is best known for arguing for free market economics. 48. According to the standard economic theories, countries that have a competitive advantage in the production of cotton should export cotton and import other products. 49. An advantage of protectionism for countries that implement it is that it b. ensures that domestic jobs will be retained in the short term. 50. GDP measures a country's total economic output. 51. A human resources manager is likely to be responsible for all but which of the following? Sales. So, a human resources manager is likely to be responsible for payroll, hiring, training, but not sales. The main function of a human resources department is to facilitate communication between the employer and the employees. That's 52. 53. Which of the following questions would be illegal to ask a job candidate at a pre-employment interview? Both 8 and B, which are 8. Have you ever requested workers' compensation benefits? B. Do you have any disabilities that would interfere with your ability to perform this job? 54. Technological aids can be used to directly fulfill all but which of the following human resources functions? Resolving disputes between employees and management. 55. A new manager with Ftce Industries has noticed that many of his employees are chronically late to work. To remedy the problem, the manager decides to implement a bonus system that will finally reward employees who are on time to work for 10 consecutive days. According to B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning theory, what type of behavior modification approach is the manager using? Reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. 56. Refer to the table 4 and correctly match each management approach in the right column with the characteristic on the left column that best describes it. 8. 1D, 2B, 3, 8, and 4C. 57. A successful manager will be able to effectively delegate authority. 58. According to the Ftce's administrative theory of management, which of the following is a correct list of the 5 essential functions of management? D. Controlling, commanding, coordinating, planning, organizing. 59. According to the National Environmental Policy Act of 1967, a business is required to prepare an environmental impact statement (EIS) when it builds a new factory. 60. If manufacturing company implements anti-pollution measures as outlined by applicable legislation, but opts not to adopt any additional anti-pollution measures, this company has most likely adopted which of the following approaches to business-society relations? C. Social obligation approach. 61. Which of the following constitutes a building contract? D. An agreement signed and dated by both parties and witnesses. 62. Corporation X, the largest oil refiner in the United States, wants to purchase Corporation Y, the only other oil refiner in the US. This situation may be a concern to the government because it might constitute a violation of antitrust laws. 63. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC) is responsible for enforcing all but which of the following laws? Environmental Protection Act. So the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC) is responsible for enforcing Civil Rights Act of 1964, Equal Pact Act, and Americans with Disabilities Act. 64. Anna is interested in purchasing a computer, but her small landscaping business for her. 64. Anna is interested in purchasing a computer for her small landscaping business. She wants to be able to compose simple flyers and advertising materials, communicate with clients via email, and order supplies online. Which of the following list best describes the hardware and software components that Anna's computer should have? C. Word processing software and internet connection and 1 to 5 gigabytes of memory. 65. Microsoft Excel would most likely be used for which of the following tasks? D. Analyzing numerical sales data. 66. Which of the following steps made a company take in order to prevent unauthorized individuals from accessing confidential data? Both A and B. A. Requiring a user and password to access its computer system. B. Constructing a firewall to protect its computer system. 67. Oh my goodness, Reynala. 67. In order to facilitate communication between employees within a company, the company is considering providing all employees with unlimited access to a file that contains employees' names, work phone numbers and addresses, work email addresses, birth dates, and social security numbers. What confidentiality issues will this new policy raise? C. Many employees may object to their social security numbers and birthdays being shared with others. The company should withhold both of those. 68. A business education teacher has allotted one class period to help students identify potential career options. Which of the following activities will be most appropriate given those circumstances? Administering a test that advises students about what careers may fit their interests and talent. 69. Which of the following business careers could a teacher safely recommend for a student who would not enjoy working with the public on a regular basis? None of the above. 70. Choose the following that best describes the most important content of a resume. The contact information, objective, educational and attainment, relevant work experience. 71. At a meeting with the shareholders, an executive will be most likely to use which of the following visual aids to present the report on commonly stock gains and losses over a 1 year period. Line graph. 72. When manually proofreading a business document for a colleague, which of the following answers describes the correct weight? One would indicate that a section of text should be removed. D. A horizontal line should be drawn through the text with a loop at the right end of the line. 73. When researching a presentation about a national shipping business, the most detailed and comprehensive source of information about the top management of a company and its competitors will most likely be Hovers.com. Which of the following list contains only types of computer software? Quicken, PeopleSoft, Microsoft, and Microsoft Office. 75. Search engine optimization (SEO) is the process of designing a website to maximize its placement in search engine results for particular keywords, thus increasing traffic to the site. 1. On the internet, links are used in all but which of the following ways? They allow computer users to open software programs on their PC. 77. Designing a wholesale for an online business, the web developer will include a site map in order to provide website users with a list of links to all of the pages on the website. 78. Better Business Bureau certification is used for business that engage in an e-commerce business. 8. D.